I'm so happy you're getting better, Ramon. All of you.
We have to thank you for that, Feodor. We wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for you.
While you were having your fever, you mentioned something about a city.
Yes, Zerzura, the legendary desert city, which is in no way lost, as many maintain it is. It is only uninhabited. The only person living there is the Queen. The inhabitants have all been scattered to the four winds, but they'll find their way back, and quite soon, since it's the longing for their home that draws them back. And not only that.
What do you mean?
There is something which binds the inhabitants to their city. It's the water which they drank as children, and which still has an effect on them. Water which can heal all wounds, and which gives the Zerzurians unlimited life force.
Where do you know all this from?
From the Zerzurians themselves. Drinking the water has a small side effect. The hair turns white, and the eyes grow brighter. Yes, we are Zerzurians. You too.
But my hair's black.
Because you have never drunk the water. At least not directly. Our mother was pregnant with you when she had to flee Zerzura. But your eyes are just as bright as ours.
But I don't understand.
I know, Feodor. That's because you've never felt this longing in yourself. But I have. You know that I've spent my whole life looking for a reason for it. And now that I know it, I don't want to spend one more day without a home.
You want to go to Zerzura? Seriously?
All of us.
But you're all ill, completely unfit to travel. We can certainly find a good physician in Tripoli.
There is only one medicine that can heal us.
But how do you see this working? If you're right, then this city lies somewhere out in the desert. You don't even have the strength to stand on your own 2 feet. How are you going to march through the desert day after day? And carrying provisions, water and all of that?
We'll manage it. The thought of Zerzura will give us the strength.
But that's ridiculous. It will be certain death for you.
No, Feodor. It's our one chance of survival.
I'll find the city and then find the shortest route and then come back and get you.
But you don't know enough about it. That would be much more dangerous.
I value your concern, dear brother. But trust me, I have freed you from the clutches of the Inquisition and will now also find the desert city, lost or not. We'll set forth in 3 days.
No, not in 3 days. We have to hurry. We are not the only ones who wish to travel to Zerzura. The Grand Inquisitor will soon be setting out for there too, just as soon as he has found what he's looking for, and that won't be long now.
What's that you're saying? The Grand Inquisitor wants to go to Zerzura.
That's why he was looking for us. He needs the key in order to get into the city. And then it will be too late for all of us.
And where is this damned key?
Nobody knows exactly. The key was broken into several parts and distributed among the Zerzurians before their great flight, when they scattered to the 4 winds.
But the Grand Inquisitor has been searching doggedly and with all means of force, and certainly has already collected some pieces together.
Already got a few pieces? That means not all of them.
I don't think he has.
Quite definitely not. He was extremely angry when he saw that we didn't have any of the fragments.
Yes, but any kind of information is useful to him. He's set off at full speed into the desert.
Then we have to find the missing pieces, before he does. Then let's go. What are we waiting for? Ramon?
Yes, brother?
What else do you know about the Queen?
That there wouldn't be a Zerzura without her, and that she must be very old. I've spoken to various generations of Zerzurians, and they only ever speak of this one queen.
Why did she remain alone in Zerzura?
I have heard that her own fate is closely bound to the city. We should hope that she long continues.
So why did our mother flee Zerzura?
I don't know what happened exactly, but it must have been something pretty terrible. The one soul who has remained in the city is the Queen.
Can you still remember our mother?
I was 5 years old when she died. I no longer have an image of her in my head, only in my heart. She was a good mother, happy and warm-hearted. You would have loved her too.
Yes. Do you know how she died?
From exhaustion. Tabit said that the travails of the flight were too much for her.
No, that's not what happened. Shortly before his death, he told me that the Inquisition took her and burned her at the stake.
What? Feodor, do you realize what that means?
Yes. The Grand Inquisitor must already have been searching for the key fragments at that time. Do you know the fastest way to get to Zerzura?
I would simply follow my heart.
You don't think there's a more, exact route description?
It's possible, but I don't know it. I have nothing that points to it in my notes.
Have you ever seen the Grand Inquisitor?
Only as a shadowy form. He always kept himself in the background while his torturing knaves did their work.
What will he do if he gets all the pieces? What does he want with Zerzura?
Perhaps he wants to take back all of the relics from a lost crusade for the church.
For the church?
Yes. 200 years ago, a group of Crusader knights made their base in Zerzura. I'm guessing that the church is still speculating on there being a fair load of booty still there.
Could be right. If the Grand Inquisitor finds all of the key fragments, then he'll enter a city free of inhabitants, and it'll be an easy job for him to loot the place completely.
Don't underestimate the Queen, though. She won't allow that. She'd rather pit herself against a whole army rather than just give up her city.
Does she have any chance, though, against the Grand Inquisitor and his followers?
I hope so, for if not, then the days of Zerzura are surely at an end.
So we have to get there before him, then. That cat's head goddess, Bastet, is that her as well? The one who featured on all those lion head artifacts that you collected?
No. The one with the lion head is Sekhmet, Bastet's dark, angry sister.
Oh, but you don't know yet, Ramon. The flying machine with the leather hull and the basket that I built recently. Do you remember it? Yes, it did in fact fly. Can you imagine that?
Really? You got that thing into the air?
Yes, I even flew after you in it, as far as southern Spain.
So far, and in spite of your fear of heights? You're not just a genius. You have the heart of a lion too, my brother.
How are you doing?
I thank Sekhmet for sending you.
I'm asking myself, why did you all flee from Zerzura? What happened back then?
Blood was spilled. A black day for Zerzura. Many died. All the others fled.
But why? How did things come to that?
I don't know, and I'm glad that I wasn't anywhere near the Queen's temple. My family came away unscathed. Sekhmet be thanked.
What do you know of the Queen?
Without her people, she is nothing, and with them, everything. She has no power on her own, but through us she can become as strong and powerful as she once was. Through us, and with Sekhmet's help as well.
That sounds like a person ought to beware of her.
The Queen is good. She is the one that we thank for the water that could make my eyes see once again. It is she who saw to it for centuries that Zerzura was the contented white city and a blooming paradise in the middle of the desert.
For centuries, you say?
Yes, the source of her power also knew the secret of immortality.
And it could be this, that the Grand Inquisitor wants to draw upon for himself.
That would suit him well. And if that man had that kind of power, then he would also turn that paradise into a burning hell.
Do you know the source of the immortality?
No, that is known only by the Queen's 12 counselors.
Do you know how we can get to Zerzura?
I have already once tried to find it. There is supposed to be a description of the route in the old ruins, but I didn't find it.
What ruins are these?
The Egyptian temple in the desert. 5 days' travel from Tripoli.
What do you know about the Grand Inquisitor?
More than a person can stand. Don't ask.
He must be a cruel man.
Cruel and profoundly evil. And he will never rest until he has what he wants. May Sekhmet guard us from his rule.
Take some rest.
Thank you, my boy. May Sekhmet be with you.
Salam alaikum, Honorable Emir.
Alaikum salam, my young friend.
A new adventure awaits. I'll go and search for Zerzura with my brother. You know, the city of which he has spoken again and again.
But it's really only a legend, made up by grave robbers who could use such fairy tales to increase the value of their wares tenfold.
Ramon is sure that it really exists, and he's quite certainly no grave robber.
If you believe in it, then I'll come with you. As things are now, I can't stay here anyway. I used to often travel with the desert caravans. I know my way around somewhat. I can lead you if you wish.
Thank you. We're happy to accept your offer.
There's not enough gold in the world to pay for what you've done for me. If I can help you now, then I'm a happy man.
We'll see you later, Honorable Emir.
My heart will be filled with joy.
Hey!
Hey!
You've surely heard. I'm going to look for Ramon's desert city. We could do with whatever help we can get, but of course it's completely up to you if you want to come along or not.
Is that what you want then? You want me to come with you?
It'll be a race against time. Ramon's wound is turning into blood poisoning. There'll be no healing him soon. Nobody actually knows where the city lies. And then there's still the crazy Grand Inquisitor, striving for world domination.
Well, since you ask so nicely.
Seriously though, Jamila, I don't want anything to happen to you.
Are you joking? I'm definitely coming with you.
I'm pleased about that, of course, but please think about it once more. Things could get really dangerous.
So? Who do you think you're talking to? In case you've forgotten, I'm Jamila, Carlos's daughter, and have been through plenty of other adventures before.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
I fought side by side with my father on land and sea. I've survived a mutiny, cannonballs have flown past my ears, and someone even tried to hack me to death with an axe. But do you know the worst thing I've ever been through so far?
No idea. But the axe thing sounds pretty bad.
No, it was when we were in the palace and the captain drafted me into sewing like a housewife.
Fair enough, Jamila. Lovely to have you on board. Hello, Rafi.
Hey, Theodorus, what's the plan?
Thanks again for your help, Rafi. My journey is now going to take me into the desert. My brother and I want to find Zerzura. You must have heard of this city.
A little. But what I did hear sounded pretty promising. You know what? I'll come with you.
Are you sure? We don't know how to find the place, nor do we know where we ought to search for the missing key fragments, and what we might find there.
Sounds like a children's game. When are we getting started?
See you later, then.
See you around.
The most important thing I need for the journey is preparation. Otherwise, we'll not get 2 days distant.
So it is. There's still water and supplies in a hiding place in my palace. I can go and fetch them.
Very good.
I'm going to draw a map with the other Zerzurians, showing the way to the Egyptian ruins.
Why? What are we supposed to do there?
There's supposed to be a map room there, which has a description of the way to Zerzura.
Really? In the old Egyptian ruins? I think I've been past there once.
Well, then you can help us.
Very happy to, as soon as I've got the supplies.
Good.
And I'll get blankets, lamps, and tents.
I'll help you with that, Rafi.
That is a whole lot of stuff for you two on your own. I'll come along too.
And who's taking care of the camels?
There's still one in the palace gardens, but it's not too well, unfortunately. I can ask my most loyal subjects for help, and definitely get hold of 3 camels, but that won't be enough.
No, we'll need at least 2 more. Pity that camel in the palace is sick.
You can make it well again, Theodorus. I get the feeling that you'd be good with camels.
You really think so? I was just thinking the opposite.
Even if you can get it fit again, we still need one more. There are 5 of us, and each has equipment and supplies.
Yes, that's right. You're 3 camels. The sick one, and then another one.
Then the other Zerzurians are going to have to stay here. They're too weak to walk. Better if we come and collect them once we've found Zerzura.
I've already spoken to them. They're agreed that they should wait and rest in Raffi's hideout.
Then that's all arranged. Everybody knows what they have to do, and I'll take care of the 2 missing camels.
Some alms for a poor old man?
I'm really sorry, but I've got nothing.
Think of me, sir, when you have something. Allah will thank you for it.
Here, you can certainly use this.
And how? My gullet's as dry as a desert bush in autumn. You're a good man. Allah will thank you for your kindness. Salut.
Greetings, good man. Have you ever heard of Zerzura?
Zerzura. That was the name of the lead bull camel on the last caravan. A beautiful creature.
I mean Zerzura, the desert city.
Kazuza. That means hungry in Spanish. I know that word in nearly every language.
Zerzura.
What was the question again?
Adios.
Peace and happiness to you and all your children.
Oh, hello, Jamila.
Hey, I'm combing these things here for provisions and such for our journey.
Of course, I understand. Don't stop. That seems to be the only camel in the stable. The Grand Inquisitor has taken all the others with him. It doesn't seem to be too healthy. Hardly moves, but still seems to be breathing. Exactly the reason why the Grand Inquisitor and his people have left it behind. I need to get the camel back up on its feet. Otherwise Ramon isn't going to make the journey.